For our first socially distanced interview, we will be talking with Julie Walton with Waltons Antique and Estate Jewelry right here on Main Street in downtown Franklin. Not only is she very enjoyable to talk to, she knows her business incredibly well and has some really fun events planned on social media. Hope you enjoy. Hey, Julie.
Hi, Jake. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you for being on this with me. This is exciting. I know we talked a little bit a couple days ago, and I felt like that I'd asked you a lot of the questions that I was going to ask you right now. So I'll probably backtrack and ask you a few more of the same questions. But
Absolutely. It was a good practice run.
Yeah. But first off, I wanted to kind of ask you to tell a little bit about Walton's Antique Jewelry and the history behind it a little bit and what you do and what your role is there. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. So my grandmother started the store in 1974. So I'm the third generation Walton. In the early 80s, my dad came on board, and then I came on board in 2012. So my grandmother got started selling jewelry actually on the hood of her car at flea markets and became really interested in it. And at the time, downtown Franklin was pretty much non-existent. I mean, Main Street was there, but it was very much vacant. The shopping area at that time was actually Carter's Court, which is maybe a quarter of a mile, half a mile down the road. It's where Bunganut Pig is. I don't know if you're familiar with Bunganut Pig, but in that area. So that was the shopping. Yeah, that was the premier shopping area in downtown Franklin at the time. So she opened up a store there, Waltons. So she called it Melville Waltons Jewelers. And she actually had a shop next door called the Sassy Shop. So she had two shops. The Sassy Shop was a women's shop that sold swimwear and lingerie. And then she had...
What year is this?
She was just such an entrepreneur and such a people person. And I think she kind of had a passion for both. And I guess a couple years down the road, she had more success with Waltons and enjoyed that aspect more. So she closed the Sassy Shop, focused on Waltons. And then in 1983, 84, she bought the building in downtown Franklin where we are now. And so we have been in our current location for going on 35 years. But she started, and we still stay true to what she started with, which is specializing in pre-1940s antique and estate jewelry.
No way. Okay, yeah. That is awesome. So it's been in the family the whole time.
Yes, it has been. So she started it, but in the 70s, women couldn't even get loans on their own or apply for a business license on their own. So she actually had to have her husband co-sign, which is pretty remarkable, thinking that really wasn't that long ago and how we've come.
That wasn't long ago.
No,
I don't think I realized that was so close to us.
Yep. I know, it's crazy. It's a crazy thing to think about.
Good for her. That's awesome.
Yep.
And I know I've been in there. Me and my wife come in there all the time. Anytime we go to Frothy Monkey or 55 South or Binks, anywhere.
All the places we're missing right now. Yeah.
So I know we had a lot of fun shopping for her wedding ring. And y'all were so cool and so patient with us. I talked to so many people, and I think we popped in and out for about 4 years.
That's awesome. Well, we always say, it's the one when you see it, just like a person. And sometimes with antique jewelry specifically, because almost all of it is one of a kind, we might not always have the perfect thing for you, but that doesn't mean we might get it down the road. So 4 years later, you found it.
Yeah. And what's really cool is we found so many pretty rings. She'd say, this is the one. And then we'd wait and then find another one. This is the one. And I became a huge fan. And in fact, I've got a ring picture pulled up, and I was going to share it on my screen real quick. And you will know more about the ring than I do, probably.
Is this her ring?
This is her ring.
Okay, yeah.
And
I know which one you're going to show me.
Yeah, so this is her ring. And I proposed to her at Carton, actually. And it was a beautiful day, so the ring looked really good in this picture. But I do remember, if I'm correct, it's an Art Deco ring.
You're right.
1940s maybe. So here is a picture of it.
Yes, it is so stunning. I love that ring. So Art Deco time period was 1920s, 1930s. If you think of most pop culture type things from the 20s and 30s, you think of flappers and speakeasies and Prohibition era. And so this is a perfect example of an Art Deco ring. I believe it's platinum. can't remember carat weight off the top of my head, but I want to say it was around a carat there in the center.
Yeah.
But the other thing about this is it looks classic and timeless. It's something that is very on trend today, and it has been for the last 100 years. And it sits really low to her finger, which a lot of people really like now. It's nothing that sits up super high. So such a gorgeous ring. She'll love it forever.
She does love it forever. She
Good.
literally tells me it's probably once a week. I'll be on the phone with her or just talking with her, and she'll say, "You know what? I just still think my ring's the best ring ever, and I absolutely love it."
That's
So
awesome.
it's
And
fun.
that's what it's all about. We're not just in the business to sell jewelry, but we're in the business to create traditions and sentimentality, and that's what we're there for, and relationships with people.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
y'all are very good at that. We feel like family there. And
Absolutely.
one of our favorite things to do during the Christmas tree lighting is come by for a little glass of champagne and
Yeah.
all the
Champagne,
ring.
live music, and some snow.
Yes. So if anyone hasn't been, it's a great thing to do. Um, so speaking of her ring, it makes me think of your social media pages. So on Easter Sunday, we were out sitting on our patio, and we were chatting, and I was doing, I can't remember what I was doing, probably lighting the grill. And she was on her phone, and she said, "I just can't find this Easter egg." And she goes, "This is embarrassing, but I've been on Walton's Instagram page for the last 2.5 hours finding your Easter eggs and looking at all the rings." And she loved it. And she goes, "I know it sounds crazy, but I'm having so much fun, and I've just got to find it. And you need to let Julie know that I have done this."
Oh,
So,
that's awesome. And she's not the only one. We did the Easter egg hunt. We do the golden egg hunt every year. And usually we had the golden egg in downtown Franklin so people can get out and walk around Franklin and find it. But obviously this year with social distancing and the stay at home order, we didn't do that, but we didn't want to just not do the egg hunt. So we kind of made it a virtual egg hunt this year over 3 days. And we did 3 different Easter eggs that you had to find on our website. And we had over 2,500 people participating in the egg hunt this year.
2,500. And
Yeah.
this is Instagram.
So we posted the clues, or like the starting of the egg on Instagram and Facebook, but ultimately you had to go to our website to find it.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you found the egg on our website, there would be a pop-up would come up and ask for your email address, and that was how you entered into that particular Easter egg, and how you let us know that you found it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's neat.
Yeah. So
Well,
it was, I think the average time spent on our website by each individual, especially the third egg, because the third egg was the hardest, was between 4 and 6 hours.
that's amazing. Probably setting records. I tell you what, that's amazing. So where was the third egg?
So the first 2 eggs, we posted a photo like we always do on our Instagram, and usually what we do is we tag our product in the photo. So people, if they're wanting to shop, they just click on the tag and it takes them to the product on our website. But this year, instead of doing that for the Thursday and Friday post, this year what we did is we just didn't tag the item. So we said, go find this ring on our website, and that's your first egg. Well, the third egg, all we did is said, we hid a golden egg somewhere on our website, go find it. So we maybe should have given a little bit more clues because it took people a while. But yeah, it was great. And it was just, so many people enjoy doing it because they're stuck at home and looking for something to occupy their time and enjoy doing. And it happened just to give people good ideas too of what they might want as gifts, which is wonderful. And it allowed people to become more familiar too with our website and with Waltons in general. So it didn't initially start out as a great marketing plan, but it ended up being a really wonderful marketing plan.
Well, that's brilliant. And talk about giving something fun for people to do at their house. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you wanted to say, or any thoughts that I have?
We usually always get asked, like, what's our most favorite thing that we like to sell? And I would say our most favorite thing and our most popular thing are kind of one and the same. Our specialty is pre-1940s, specifically Art Deco, like what you have, engagement rings. That's our number one seller all year round. That's something that we're always looking for. So 1920s, 1930s era engagement rings. That's become our specialty. We have so many customers who have shopped with us for generations. So they get an engagement ring from us. Their mom has gotten one from us, and their grandmother has gotten one from us, which is a really wonderful thing for us to be a part of. And it really continues that tradition. So that is what we get asked often. What is our most popular thing? What is our favorite thing? And that would be the answer there. Art Deco diamond engagement rings.
That's amazing. Well, I think it's a really unique thing, because I know when I look at my wife's ring, there's something really cool to know that it's 100 years old. And
Absolutely.
it's pretty, there's history behind it. So it doesn't feel just like a ring. I feel like I got a piece of art that's been around for a long time and has a story behind it. And I do remember on your website, I'll admit, I've actually been on your Instagram page a few times.
Oh, great. Yay.
And I remember, I think it was last year, you had a ring that it was beautiful. I cannot remember where it was from, but it was really old, and it came with the letter. Do you remember that one?
Yes. So there was a ring. I think we called it the Mrs. Baker.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. So that actually, we had purchased it, and the estate that we purchased it from, the woman had held on to her original receipt. So she had bought it in 1940 in Liverpool, England. It was a 2-carat old European cut diamond and a really pretty, just very classic, timeless solitaire setting. And we could never decipher how much she actually paid for it, because first off, it was in pounds, but then it was also very hard to understand in terms of the spacing. I guess it was done on a typewriter, so we weren't sure if there were commas or decimals or what, but it was still really cool to see the original receipt. So yeah, we called that one Mrs. Baker. She didn't last for long. She went home pretty quick.
I remember going in there to find it, and it was gone.
Yeah. And people love the stories. And a lot of times we don't have an exact story about the piece. We can date it to a certain time period, but in order to have a story, it has to be like documented. It can't just be something that somebody told us, which is typically more reserved for like museum quality pieces, something that has like a written provenance. But we can date them. But it is also really exciting to think like, man, what could this ring have seen over the last 100 years? Like that's pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Well, really fun. Well, I'm glad y'all are hanging in there with everything going on. And thank you for all you're doing. And
absolutely.
I'm sure this will be hopefully encouraging to other business owners. Maybe they can get some ideas. And
yeah, I hope so. And I've reached out to the downtown Franklin businesses that Facebook and Instagram are really wonderful tools. They allow exposure to your brand and to your business. And a lot of the times, whatever you do on them is free. You don't necessarily have to put any money behind advertising. And it's just this tool that everybody needs to utilize. And I hope what business owners take away from this is that we can't always guarantee that our store will be open. And we have to have a fallback plan to still stay in business and be able to support our staff in a way that is sustainable. And I really do feel that that's going in the direction of social media and having a website where you can allow people to shop from the comfort of their own home.
Yeah. Well, that's great. And thank you for doing that. It's so fun that y'all are in downtown Franklin, just right down the street. It's really fun having y'all there.
Very lucky.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I could probably talk a lot longer, to be honest with you, but I know I probably need to cut this a little short. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Jake. I really appreciate you reaching out.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Julie.